Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you. Poor Asian countries full of single women due to lack of men who love them. This is a controversial and sensitive subject, and I want to start by saying that relationships and social dynamics are complex, and there's no one-size-fits-all explanation. This video looks at how socio-economic challenges, migration patterns, and changing cultural norms in some Asian countries have resulted in an imbalance of men and women, particularly when it comes to relationships and marriage. So let's jump right into the countdown. Number 1, China. At number 1, we have China. Over the past few decades, China has experienced an extreme gender imbalance due to cultural preferences for sons, resulting in millions of missing women in the population. While China is one of the world's most powerful economies, the legacy of its one-child policy has left a noticeable shortage of men in many regions. This imbalance has led to a rise in single women, many of whom struggle to find partners due to fewer available men who meet their standards, whether due to social expectations or economic constraints. Number 2, India. Next up is India. India has one of the largest populations in the world, yet many women in rural areas face significant challenges in finding suitable partners. Economic hardships, traditional caste systems, and the rising trend of men migrating for better job opportunities have left a disproportionate number of women without potential husbands. Women in rural India, in particular, face difficulty finding marriageable men as many young men migrate to cities for work, leaving behind a growing number of single women in villages. Additionally, in some areas, economic hardship means men often delay or avoid marriage altogether, leaving women in a tough spot. Number 3, Vietnam. Coming in at number 3 is Vietnam. In recent years, Vietnam has seen an increasing number of women in rural areas remaining single due to a growing imbalance of men to women. Many young men are migrating to cities like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City for job opportunities, leaving women in smaller towns and villages without a marriage prospect. The situation has become even more difficult for women in these areas, where traditional expectations for marriage are still strong, but the pool of eligible men has significantly dwindled. Number 4, Cambodia. At number 4, we have Cambodia. Cambodia, like other Southeast Asian countries, has seen significant economic challenges that have contributed to a gender imbalance. Many Cambodian men, especially younger ones, have moved abroad for work, often to Thailand or South Korea, leaving behind an abundance of women, particularly in rural areas. This situation has resulted in a growing number of women struggling to find suitable partners, which has created a situation where many women are left single for extended periods of time. Number 5, Nepal. Nepal takes the number 5 spot. Much like Cambodia, Nepal has faced an ongoing issue with men migrating abroad, particularly to countries in the Middle East and Malaysia, in search of better-paying jobs. These men leave behind a shortage of marriageable men in their home country, resulting in a rise in single women, especially in rural areas. These women often struggle with the societal pressures of marriage and family life, while also facing a shortage of men available for meaningful relationships. Number 6, Philippines. Coming in at number 6 is the Philippines. The Philippines has one of the highest rates of overseas migration in Asia, with many Filipino men working abroad to send money back home. This mass migration has led to a situation where many women are left in the country alone. While the Philippines is known for its beautiful women, many women in the country face difficulties in building long-term relationships as their partners are often thousands of miles away. The situation is especially acute in rural areas where opportunities for women are limited, and the pool of available men is even smaller. Number 7, Bangladesh. Bangladesh takes the number 7 spot. Similar to other South Asian countries, Bangladesh has a significant number of men leaving for work abroad, particularly to the Middle East. This mass exodus has led to a shortage of men in many areas, and as a result, many women are left without a partner for marriage. This situation is exacerbated by the cultural emphasis on marriage at a young age, leaving many women feeling pressure to find a husband despite the lack of options. Number 8, Myanmar, Burma. At number 8, we have Myanmar. Myanmar, like many Southeast Asian countries, has seen an outflow of young men to countries like Thailand and Malaysia in search of better job opportunities. This migration trend has left women behind, particularly in rural areas, where the lack of available men has created a gender imbalance. As a result, many women in Myanmar remain single longer than they would like, facing cultural expectations to marry and start a family, but struggling to find a suitable partner. Number 9. Laos takes the number 9 spot. Laos is another country in Southeast Asia that has seen significant male migration for work, especially to neighboring countries like Thailand. This migration has led to a shortage of men in Laos, particularly in the rural and remote areas. Many women in these regions are left without potential marriage partners, and the economic limitations of staying in the country make it even harder for them to meet men who can fulfill traditional expectations of being a provider and protector. Number 10. Sri Lanka. And finally, number 10 goes to Sri Lanka. While Sri Lanka is a relatively stable and developing country, its labor migration patterns have created a situation where many women, particularly in rural regions, face challenges finding men to marry. Many Sri Lankan men migrate for work, especially to the Middle East, and this has resulted in a growing number of single women who are left behind to manage households on their own. In many cases, these women often have to wait years for their husbands to return, leading to a situation where women remain single or unmarried for longer periods. So what do you think? Do you agree with the countries on this list, or do you have any other countries in mind that should be added to this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, this topic is a complex one, influenced by social, economic, and cultural factors that differ in each country. It's important to approach these discussions with understanding and empathy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. See you next time.